In this timeline, Charlie was walking around. As she walked around after an exorcism, she was deeply saddened by the death and destruction. As she was taking a turn, as she was about to see Vaggie, but in this timeline, she stopped as she saw a hellhound with a sign, "Will work for food." You see, Loona aged out of the system because Blitz never adopted her, and now she was homeless. As Charlie walked up to her and said, "I'm sorry about your situation," Loona would say, "Yeah? Not too many girls come to me, but I'm happy. You're way hotter than most guys anyway." As Charlie would blush, she would say, No, I did not come for you for that type of work. Follow me." As Loona would follow her, Charlie would then show her around and take her into her house. As Loona would actually kind of like it here, she wouldn't trust Charlie at first. She must be there for nefarious purposes. As she looked familiar, but she couldn't put her finger on it, she looked at a picture with her and Lucifer. She said, "Oh my God, are you literally the effing princess?" Loona would say, as Charlie would say, "Yeah, I get it. Many princesses have hellhounds or lower kinks. It's okay, you don't have to." Charlie would say, You're attractive, but I didn't let you in to do that stuff. I just want you to live here and have a nice place to stay." Loona was skeptical, but as the days and weeks passed, Charlie was nothing but nice to her. She did have a few outbursts here and there when Loona really pushed her, but besides that, she was super sweet, and that began to grow on her. As one day, Charlie and Loona were sitting on the couch, as Loona would say, "Charlie, can I ask you something?" As Charlie would say, "Of course." Loona would say, "You've been so nice to me. Why?" "Because it's the right thing to do, and I couldn't leave a sweet girl like yourself out in the street." "I'm not sweet." "I'm not." "Yes, you are. Deep down, you're a sweet person that deserves love." Loona would then smile as she would kiss Charlie. As Loona would say, Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I just, as she blushed, as Charlie would blush back. They would stare in each other's eyes and simply just keep staring, as neither of them made a move for a while, until Loona would say, "I like you." Charlie would say, "I like you too." As then she would push her down to the couch. Loona would say, "What are you doing?" Charlie would say, "I know I'm polite, but I can be forceful sometimes, only if you want to." Loona would say, I want to." As then they would share a night of passion and love. As the next day came, Charlie would get out of bed, as Loona would say, "Charlie, can we be together?" As Charlie would say, "Of course." As then they would hold hands and kiss. As Loona and Charlie spent time together, they only became closer and closer, as they slowly started to fall in love. At first, they seemed like too much of opposites, but opposites attract. Even though Loona had a hard exterior, even though Loona pushed others away, she loved Charlie and accepted her, because Charlie accepted her back, as they both loved each other, as they both cared about each other. As Charlie and Loona were deeply close. As this continued onward, they only got closer and closer, as months would pass. As one day, Loona would be laying in bed with Charlie. As they would wake up, Loona would say, "I have a surprise for you, Charlie." Charlie would say, "Really?" "Yeah, follow me." As then Loona would drag Charlie out to the park, where she made her breakfast. As Charlie would say, "Where'd you have time to? Don't worry about it." As then Charlie and Loona would eat breakfast, they would then laugh and smile and giggle. As then Loona would say, "So, how come I haven't met your father?"
Would say, "Well, it's just," Loona would say, "Are you embarrassed of me? Does he not like two girls, you know?" As in Charlie would say, "It's none of that." Well, actually, I don't know about that girl part. But anyway, it's just, we haven't really talked much. We've been distant. Loona would say, "I never really had parents. I grew up in a pound. You should see him. You're lucky to have one." Charlie would say, "I guess you're right." As then the next day would come, as Loona and Charlie would hold hands and slowly walk to his house. Charlie would say, "Oh my God, we're going to do this. Oh my God, we're going to do this. I can't. As Loona would say, "Yes, you can, Charlie," as she would hold her hand. "You got this. You're strong. You're powerful. You're cute. You're sweet. And you're the love of my life. And you can just talk to your father. He must have really done something messed up for you to act like this." Charlie would say, "No, he just wasn't there because my mother would always take him away." "Wait, isn't that your mother's?" Charlie would say, "Actually, now you say that, it might be." Loona would say, "Wow, that's deeper issues than I thought. We'll worry about that later." As then they slowly walked up to the door and knocked. As they knocked, Lucifer himself would open the door.
Lucifer would look and say, "Charlie, I missed you so much," as he would hug her tightly. As Lucifer did miss Charlie, but he was too scared to call, too scared to do anything. Whenever he got too close, Lilith would slowly drag her away. It made it seem like he wasn't good enough as a father, which affected him self-consciously. As in Charlie and Lucifer would then hug, they would begin to talk. As Lucifer would say, "What have you been up to?" "Not much. Been mostly adjusting to life with my girlfriend." "Your girlfriend, is that her?" Loona would say, "Hey, I'm a hellhound." "Huh? A hellhound, huh? You know, you're into girls, I'm into girls, we have so much in common." As then Loona would laugh and say, "You're funny." As then they would go in and have a conversation. As Lucifer would show off his ducks, Charlie would be embarrassed, as Loona would just laugh, saying, "You're the king of hell? No offense, sir, but I thought you'd be way scarier." Lucifer would say, "I get that a lot. I mean, I am scary to anyone who's a threat to my daughter, but I trust you. Besides, I think you two are cute together." As then they would spend the rest of the time together. Eventually it was time for them to leave, as Lucifer would say, "Here." As then he would give his number to Loona. "If my daughter's ever in trouble, call me." Loona would say, "Thanks." As then she would smile and walk off with Charlie. As then they would go back to their house. As Loona and Charlie would have a conversation, as Loona would say, "I think it's time we get a bigger home." As Loona and Charlie would build a giant house and live in it. But something seemed off. It seemed so lonely, just the two of them. But they wouldn't think about that for now. As they were together longer and longer, years and years would pass. Until one day, Charlie and Loona would be sitting on the couch, as Loona would say, "I need to talk to you, Charlie." Would then say, "What is it, love?" As Loona would look at Charlie, she would take a deep sigh and say, "I love you. But this house, this life, it feels empty. We need someone else. A child. I think it's time we have a kid. You think we could do something with the magic?" Charlie would say, "I've heard rumors. You should ask my dad." Loona would nod. As she would go over to Lucifer's house, she would knock on the door. As Lucifer would open it, he would say, "Come in, come in." "So is Charlie in trouble? What's wrong?" Loona would say, "She's not in trouble. I just need a favor." Lucifer would say, "Anything. Could you give me and Charlie a kid?" Lucifer would then look totally shocked. As then Loona would say, "Listen, I know it's a lot to ask." "No, it's not. I can easily do that magic. But I need you to do me a favor." Loona would say, "Yeah? I don't really care, but some people here around here are old-fashioned. I don't want any, troubling rumors about it. So I want you to propose for her first." As then Lucifer would slowly hand Loona a ring. "Understand?" Loona would blush and nod, as she would then go over to Charlie. As Loona would say, "Charlie, can I ask you something?" Charlie would say, "What is it?" Loona would then say, I need something. I love you. You're the love of my life. And if we want to have kids, we have to make it official." As Loona would get down on one knee, Charlie would say, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." Loona would say, "Will you marry me?" Charlie would say, "Yes, yes, yes." As then she would hug her tightly, as then they would both kiss and cuddle. As then Loona and Charlie would go to Lucifer. Lucifer would say, "All right, let's do it." As then he would snap his fingers and gather DNA from both of them, as the entire room would begin to shake, as suddenly a baby girl would appear. Half Charlie, half Loona. As Charlie would say, "Are you ready to name her?" "Yeah, let's name her Skylar." As Skylar was born, they were taken back home, as she would grow there for a few years. As Skylar would be happy there. Even though she was just a baby, her magic began to show. As then we cut to Lilith. Lilith would be laying down in the Garden of Eden, which has been moved to heaven. As she felt this new power, it felt like her daughter, but also like a hellhound? That didn't make any sense. She got up. As Luke said, "Where are you going?" "I'm leaving. I need to check on something." As then she would go down to hell. Charlie would hear a knock on the door. As Loona would go answer it, she would say, "Is this your mom?" Charlie would say, "Mom, I knew you would come back. We have beautiful news. We have a daughter. Her name is Skylar." And as then Lilith would simply walk in and say, "Oh, that's cool." As then she would pretend to care, being the caring mother, as she would spend time with Skylar, Charlie, and Loona. As Charlie and Loona were, well, they're very special to her. At least that's what she let on. She did care about Charlie, but Loona was just a hellhound. The fact that her daughter would date her is disgusting, and the fact that she would use her DNA to make an offspring was even more disgusting. As Lilith continued onwards, pretending to like them both, as eventually they all went to sleep. As Lilith would leave, only to sneak in later that night and grab Skylar and then drag her away. As Skylar was dragged away, she was about to be dragged to heaven, but then she would wake up and look around not to see her mother, as then she would begin to cry, as Lilith would say, "No use, we're too far away," as then we cut back to Charlie, who would sense something, as she sensed something powerful. But she would go to the room to see her baby gone. She couldn't believe it, but then she could sense her baby. They had a strong connection, a mother and daughter. She thought about waking up Loona, but she couldn't do that. She had to do this herself. Loona was strong, but she was stronger, and she didn't want to put her in danger, as Charlie would run to save Skylar. As Lilith was about to leave, Charlie would say, "What are you doing?" Lilith would say, "You found me." "No matter. I'm going to take away the Hellhound DNA." Grandchild. Charlie would say, "Taking away half her DNA might..." Yes, I know, but it'll be a worthy sacrifice to make it. If she doesn't make it, at least she won't be half Hellhound. What were you thinking? Making our bloodline become so impure. I'll fix this. As she began to fly, Charlie would grab her. Lilith would say, "Let go," as then Charlie would punch her and say, "Give me back my baby." As then Lilith looked angry. "You think you can beat me?" As then she bent her over and began to spank her again and again and again. "Clearly I didn't discipline you right as a child." Charlie would struggle. Charlie would try to fight back, but she couldn't do anything, as she would cry. As Skylar would cry too, Charlie would try to move, but she couldn't. She just felt this overwhelming pain, but most of all, she felt failure as a mother. Failure. The more she tried to resist, the more she did, the more she fought, the worse it got. As Lilith's grip on her only got stronger and stronger and stronger, she felt like it was over, as she was about to take Skylar away. But then Lucifer would fly in and kick her, as she would say, "Kicking your ex? How violent." Lucifer would say, "Shut up, I'm not the one kidnapping a kid." As then Skylar would then fall in Lucifer's arms. Lucifer would give it to Charlie, as Charlie would begin to fight Lilith. As Lilith would say, "I can't believe you would hit a woman. You're literally trying to kidnap someone. Stop gaslighting me." As they continued the fight, it was clear that Lucifer was winning, but Lilith would mind game him and play mind games, basically torturing him mentally, acting like it's his fault she left, acting like it's his fault all this happened, for allowing this to happen. As Lucifer said, "Shut up, there's nothing wrong with being a Hellhound, there's nothing wrong with being a part of this family, now you need to leave before I destroy you." As in Lilith would say, "Fine, at least you can destroy me in some ways then." As in Lilith would leave, Lucifer would sigh, as he would say, "Are you okay, Charlie?" Charlie would say, "Yeah." She would then begin to cry and say, "My mom, she wants to." I know, as then Lucifer would cry back. As they both cried, they held on to each other for minutes until they went back to their lives, as Skylar would grow up as a happy woman, happy with two great moms. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. I hope you all enjoyed this video, because I know I did. And yeah, I love Loona and I love Charlie, and Luna's kind of a fan of Charlie. That's kind of canon, so I hope they have some fun interactions here and there. I don't think they'll ever hook up in the show, because Charlie has Vaggie, unless they do an open relationship, which I feel like we need more open and more poly relationships, because we don't really have that in Hazbin Hotel, to be honest with you. And I feel like that's a big part of the LGBTQ community, that they're really not representing the poly side. So yeah, I hope they do have a poly relationship in the show. I do think that'll be interesting, and I would hope to see more positive variations of poly in other shows. If you know any show that has like a good poly relationship, please let me know and I will watch it. I'm kind of desperate to find one. Anyway, peace out. Love you.